Assalamualaikum doston.
Guys, we just finished.
Assalamualaikum doston.
Welcome back to Chai Shai With Bliss, where your chai might stay warm, but your spine definitely won't.
This episode is not for the faint-hearted one, so grab your blanket, put on that masala chai, and double check your doors are locked.
This is a horror special, a mix of listener-submitted stories, spine-tingling fiction, and a rapid fire you'll never forget. Oh, and somewhere in the shadows, the boo-boos might make a teeny cameo, only if you leave your window open.
So let's not keep the ghosts waiting.
This story came from someone in Bangalore. They didn't want to be named. All they said was, just share it so it doesn't stay with me.
That's already unsettling. Like, what could it possibly be?
It was a winter evening around 6:30. A young woman named Mira was walking through her apartment park after work. Cold breeze, faint yellow lights, she saw the swings. Two of them, one still and the other gently moving back and forth.
Classic horror setup. Wind, swings, and the yellow lighting. Oh, I'm already spooked up.
Thinking it was the wind, she ignored it until it stopped, dead still. And then it started again, but faster. I would have run.
God.
As if someone was pushing it, she looked around. No kids, no wind, no sound. Just the swing creaking in perfect rhythm.
Honestly though, what would you do in such a situation?
I would run. I wouldn't even look back. I would run for my life. I'd start reciting Ayatul Kursi.
For the, why would you even be there in such a street all alone?
Okay, but she was walking back after work, right?
That's crazy.
Imagine like we're walking back. There's just like a random swing or a park.
I would be like on call with, hey Bisma, be on call with me. If I die, you die with me.
I won't die with you because I'll be at home.
No, but then the jinn will transfer from my phone into you.
Wow.
But that's actually so creepy. I would actually start running like there's no tomorrow. You know that feeling when you're going up the stairs and you feel like something is chasing you and you run for your life.
Run faster. You know what Mira did? Mira, she took out her phone and took a picture. What she saw later still haunts her.
Don't say it.
In the reflection of the empty swing's metal pole, there was a child, standing, staring straight at her with no face.
I would be devastated. I would not sleep for years. What the hell?
I would be so scared.
What the hell?
Imagine taking a picture of an empty place. Like, imagine we take a picture right there, and there's someone standing. I'm going
And
back
that
home.
too headless.
Oh,
I'm getting goosebumps. Like,
do you guys know the Ganji Chudal and Sarkata on Instagram reels?
that just makes horror a joke. It's not even scary.
Has anyone seen Stree 2?
Yes.
Sarkata.
Oh,
So just
that
Sarkata.
is so unsettling to your eyes. Like,
It was a very good movie. It was very funny as well.
And-
It
but it-
was
the-
horror funny.
yeah, and that sarkata was just unpleasing.
Imagine you take a picture here and there's like a headless person.
You shut up. I'm actually getting scared because it's so quiet. It's not good.
Yeah, it is actually so fun. You know how they say when in English cinema when they film horror movies, they do their like what's it called? The whole prayers thing with holy water, because when you talk about these things, you attract these things. You know that,
This
right?
is gonna be so fun.
I
We are
mean-
basically surrounded with jinns and ghosts. Imagine.
I mean, I don't have to sleep here tonight, so
You know that
Oh
they
my
say that if a ghost falls in love with you, then you're dead for life. Like, they don't leave you.
yeah, they don't unless you get like a ruqya done and everything.
That's so crazy. It's a story I'll be telling onwards into the podcast, so stay tuned. We have some
tuned.
thrilling, scary,
stories.
spooky
Real
stories
life that
coming up.
happened with us.
Like, we've actually witnessed such incidents in life. It's not even a joke anymore.
Stay tuned and keep watching.
Okay, before we go deeper into the dark woods of storytelling, let's talk about the boo-boo.
These odd-looking, pointy-toothed, wide-eyed creatures are all over Instagram, and people are collecting them like they're Pokemon from a parallel universe.
And honestly, Labubus are like the perfect mix of creepy, but I would keep them on my shelf.
They went viral all of a sudden, and I don't get why. And one is worth 300 dirhams. And
That creature?
yeah, it's worth 300 dirhams, and people are putting them on their Birkins and everything. You have a designer bag, and you're buying this creepy thing
Like
to put on
honestly,
it.
it's even the name, it just gives me an ick. It's like a kid couldn't talk and just started gibberish talking.
Who
Like,
came up
ooh,
with
labubu.
Yeah, who came up with it? And it looks so creepy. Like, I'm sorry, I'm the kind of person that gets influenced by trends. No,
It's a bit too much.
it's very creepy. And imagine, like, at night, there are like 10 labubus staring at you with like their fangs out.
I mean, as long as they like get me chai, they do all my chores, make food for me, clean my room, do my assignments, and be the 10 dwarfs of my life, I'm cool with that. But other than that, I would be traumatic. It would be traumatic to sleep every single time in my room.
But it's such a waste of 300 dirhams for this tiny stuffed toy that is very creepy. It's not even cute. I'm sorry for people who've bought it, but it's not cute.
It's like people are actually delusional. Like Delulu is true Lulu.
They're like getting into this, like, that looks nice on a designer bag. Come on, you've spent thousands on the bag and you're hanging a labubu on it.
Imagine laboob. It's so stupid. He was like, "Oh, I have a labubu. You want to see it? What the hell is a labubu?"
And you expect for this stuffed toy to look very cutesy and stuff, and there's like with its fangs out. It looks very scary.
I feel
like
so
a toddler,
bad.
you threw it to a toddler and they'd cry.
I don't even know who made this labubu. I'm just questioning what they were
No
going
offense
through.
to the one who made it.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, okay, congratulations. It's a big hit. But like,
for all the wrong reasons.
what is going on with people? I
Would
think
you guys buy anything? Would you guys buy something we put out, like merch?
you never know. Chai Shai with Bliss with those typical, famous Desi quotes.
Oh my god, yeah, on your shirts, hoodies.
Yeah. And like, if you ever want to not talk to someone and be like, Dafa ho jao, just show your back. Like, Dafa ho jao.
And there's also this famous one, I think a lot of people know it, but I really like it. It goes like, Dekh magar pyar se.
Oh.
For people who constantly want to keep their eye on you and want to keep an eye on every move of yours, even though they hate you, Dekh magar pyar se.
Like the creepy labubus, just staring at you non-stop.
Yeah.
Might as well look at me with love. Guys, say this word. Chivalry. Wait, that's it again. Chivalry. Say it. If you guys say it, I will give you one piece of brownie. क्योंकि पैसे तो है नहीं.
Only if you guys subscribe, like, share and comment.
तो शायद थोड़े पैसे आ जाए. फिर मैं chivalry बोलूँ नहीं, शायद खरीद लूँ.
How do you buy it?
Money can do anything, Bisma Jawad.
She's gonna come with a new product, name that and buy it for herself.
Yeah, just like how Labubu came. Imagine how depressed that person was. Let me name it Labubu, क्योंकि मेरा कोई बुबू नहीं है.
No offense to anyone.
Who made Labubu?
No Labubu is harmed in the making of this video. It was 3 a.m. when Araf's phone rang. He checked it. Just a forward from an unknown number. Forward this to 5 people tonight or she'll visit you. Classic horror chain message. Araf chuckled and ignored it.
And he broke the horror law. Never means never ignore the chain.
An hour later, his TV turned on by itself. Static. Then flickered off. He thought it was a power glitch until his phone buzzed a video.
From the same number?
Yeah. And in that video, it was a live feed of his bedroom from the corner near his closet.
Stop. Don't even. I would literally uninstall live on the spot.
I would run.
Imagine.
And I would start reciting Ayatul Kursi and like
Surah Bakra हर एक TV पे, phone पे, iPad पे, laptop पर.
When he looked up from his phone, the closet door was slightly open.
Stop. Imagine. Okay, guys, imagine right now we have someone just peeking through and they message you, if you move, you will be dead. And you're like, hey, kya bakwas kar rahe yaar? And
I'd push her to see.
And then, guys, if I die, you know who to catch. We have live proof. Anyways, and then imagine, like, actually though, imagine somebody just sends a video of you. Like, I'm watching you. Imagine. Okay, that's actually creepy.
Yeah.
People watching you.
I'd block the number first.
Shit, man. Or what if they just randomly come in front of you with like guns and knives and
I'd probably faint.
my kambal ke andar, you know how you just hide under the blanket and you're just not moving until it's over? I would do that.
Okay, let's start with this. We asked our followers what's the creepiest thing that has ever happened to you at home. Here are a few replies. I heard someone calling my name from the bathroom, but I live alone.
My Alexa said goodnight at 2 a.m., but I never spoke. You know what's the crazy part? Is I have an Alexa and I'm actually terrified.
Imagine
Imagine.
tonight your Alexa's gonna be like, "Good night, Eba."
That is crazy. Like,
Imagine your Alexa, it's here, right?
yeah, it's right there.
Imagine it's listening to our stories right now.
And goes like, I think you guys are talking too much. Let me give you a trial. Oh shit, that's actually scary. I'm actually scared.
Okay. My mirror reflected my room with an extra figure standing behind me. I didn't look back.
Y'all need to sage your houses immediately.
Do you have any like real life person horror stories?
I have plenty actually. We have a lot of such real life cases in our house, and some of them probably sound really pathetic, but like
It happened.
it's actually so true. So I before we used to live in some place between the desert. Our house was there, and I remember we like our workers used to live in a house which is outside of our compartment. Like हमारा घर यहाँ था, उनका बाहर निकल कर था.
So like a servant quarter that's
Kind of like a
separate.
servant quarter, but like it was a bit bigger than a usual one. So like 3 to 4 people would live there. And one day, like one of the girls came up to us and said that every time I sleep or anything, I rest, I see a family, like a family of like a proper family, husband, wife, and 2 kids. But the kids don't have heads, but they're crying constantly. And they're just like every single time I lay on my back, I can see their like saya ko kya kahenge? Shadow upon me. And it was really, we first I thought that she's making up shit because we've been living in that house for over 10 years. We never
Have you ever
experienced,
seen it?
never, nothing
Really?
at
That
all.
happened?
Yeah, it actually happened.
Shit.
So we ignored it the first time. We were like, yeah, I say kuch bhi bol rahe honge, because they came from gaon and like villages, and they asarat wagera hote, they have
Yeah.
possessions over them. So we ignored it. But then after a while it got worse because then she started screaming and then she got really really sick. मतलब उसके ऊपर heavy हो गया था.
Oh my god, no.
तो
Which means चढ़ना गया.
नहीं पता, but I remember हमने मौलवी अंकल को बुलाया था. We called that Ruqayya person, and I think he was a scammer, bro. The things he made her do. Apparently, she had to eat raw meat and stuff.
No, they don't do
And
that. He definitely
yeah,
scammed you guys.
he did.
You
He
don't
made her eat raw meat and stuff, and then did the whole dumb how it's supposed to be read whatever he had to read, and then she had to do something, like she had to put something in like the grave, dafnana to kuch. I don't
You
remember
don't do
what.
scam did you guys get
I have
into?
no
You don't
idea.
do that.
I mean, they got the
They
people.
just recite like ayahs from the Quran and they start with Ayatul Kursi.
And,
That's the most powerful.
And then that happened, but then after that time, we just made her like go away. We did not continue work with her because like it was weird. No other staff or whatever ever told us. But then, you know what's ironic? After a very long
Did you guys
time,
start seeing things?
not me, but like after a very long time, we closed that a part of our house. Then my uncle got married, and we made that into his portion of the house, put it renovated, everything. And when my mommy was pregnant, and they say usually when women are pregnant, these things are very sensitive towards them. So she did once say that she felt like a baby, like a child, like while she was laying down, she couldn't move her body or anything. So my aunt, she felt like there was somebody walking like in the room left and right against the bed, and she heard again a baby's noise, and she said the exact same thing. It was a family without faces.
Oh my god.
So like maybe that part of the house had something, but then after a while we left the house.
Obviously, any person would.
It was
That
really
is
weird.
crazy.
And you know what's the crazy part? If we ever had to go to the kitchen, our kitchen was also outside, so we had to walk outside in the night. And after hearing that, oh
And
my
yeah, I'd
god,
be scared.
it was so creepy to just go and get water because we had to literally walk outside for a 2-minute walk. towards the kitchen, and
Towards the
that
house.
2 minute walk, it felt like somebody's chasing you from the back. You're like running and quickly taking the water and running back to your room. It was horrible.
That's crazy. You know, once where I used to live in an apartment in an old place, basically the sink, there's like the door is here and the sink to like would be here, right? So when you're doing the dishes, your back would be facing the door. Okay, the tiles on that floor, they were like slightly loose. Like they were like this one portion was slightly up, so if you'd step on it, it'd go down. So you'd feel like someone's behind you, right? One day I was washing the dishes. It was nighttime, right? And I felt someone at the back, and then I heard the floor creak, right? Like someone's standing. I turn around and no one's there. I actually like yelled at my siblings like if they were there, because I was like, there is definitely someone there. No one was there.
No way.
And then I continued doing the dishes, and I feel someone step right behind me. Like you know how if you're gonna be standing and I come behind you, you can feel like a whole presence, right? I felt like someone was there. I turned around, no one was there. I left and ran. And there was this right before we moved. There was another incident where we had like red pots. You know, red ceramic pots. The next day we woke up and
Like the terracotta pots?
no, just like you know the normal cooking pots, but they're like red coated from the outside, like red ceramic. The next day we got up because the pots are obviously in the kitchen. One was on the stove. The next day we woke up. We went into the kitchen. The pots had wiggly, squiggly lines engraved on it, like you know, because they were like ceramic coating. So unless you take a knife and really like you know do this, like really like dive into it, it's not gonna. And there were like these wiggly, squiggly lines all over the pot. It was like some like satanic like writing. Some it actually looked really creepy because there were like squiggly lines. It got up there and then it went there and then went down and then went squiggly again. And because it was like very hard ceramic coating, unless you like really take a knife and like
dug in it. Yeah.
dug in it, you can't do that.
Shit.
We threw away the pot and we moved houses.
That's actually creepy.
It was very creepy.
A very similar incident happened with one of my aunties. They used to live in this apartment, like her friend's apartment. Like they were together, something like. I don't exactly remember the story in detail, but like specifically her dining area, like they had chairs and tables now. So every single night after midnight, it was like a ritual. It was like basically there was a saying, a family of ghosts and jinns like lived there before them. Like the previous people said that was the reason why they moved, but they did not believe it as much. And setting everything was fine, nothing really happened. Then a month into the house, only that specific area, like the kitchen area and that dining area only, would always make noises. And like you know, we always tuck in like the chairs towards the table and everything. Every time, like when they're about to sleep, they would hear the chairs moving back. And like you know, like when you're trying to sit on a chair, it's like moved back. And if they're like literally squeaky voices, like the chairs is moving back. And then above all of that, they're like suddenly forks appear on the table, their dishes appearing, kitchen is a whole mess. And it continued for days and days and days, like every single. And it's so weird, it was like unka khane ka time hota tha, and every time at that same time it would happen. The tables are moving. And chalo, you know, okay fine, maybe it's a subconscious thing, but the fact you wake up and you see the chairs are
Physically
moved like somebody sat down and got up. You know, when you just like push the chair back and it's like not even straight, it's like tilted or whatever. वैसे पूरा tilted होता था, and it would be a whole mess. Like that specific place was a whole mess, and they made sure they moved out of the house immediately because it was something really abnormal. Like
really,
imagine you wake up to something like that, or even sleeping and hearing it and still ignoring it is wow.
It's wild. I think after we moved from that apartment, we moved into a different apartment, and that was like COVID time. So my dad and I got COVID, right? So obviously we were like quarantined in one room, and my mom and siblings were in another room. Every night, and like we had like a main living room was separate, and then there was like a TV lounge area. Wapi would sit and eat and everything. So we'd had, you know, like the bed tables, like in bed breakfast wali tables. We'd put it down because we'd sit on the floor, on the carpet, right? So every night there would be jammacha, like with a spoon, someone would be banging on the table. And it was very evident, visible. Like and once my mom walked out to see, the spoon was on the table, but no one was there. You'd walk back, you could hear the tapping of the spoon on the table.
I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah, you could hear the tapping like, and that was also after midnight, right? So when my mom died, we didn't move from there, but what she did was put Rukia on the TV, and she'd do it every single day, and also like Surah Baka on every single Friday. And then I think it went away. It never bothered us again. So it was done. But it was like every night you could hear like the on the table.
That's
It was
crazy.
crazy.
No, कहते हैं ना, they say that sometimes, like in a place for a very long time, if someone is not living, their jinns
Yeah, they inhabit
tend
the
to,
place.
yeah, and then if somebody else comes uninvited and they don't like
they're
them,
gonna bother the
they're gonna
person.
bother until
They
they're
leave.
gone,
Yeah.
or unless in a mutual, it's so weird, like it's not like you're talking to them, but like in a mutual Islamic way, if you communicate with them and you
Yeah.
tell them, you know, like
You
we've
know,
come here, let us be here, then they do actually leave. But some of those ghosts or jinns,
they're
they make your life crazy.
they're like the good kinds, and then there are the bad kinds. If
Yeah.
it's like a bad kind, they won't like let you live. Like my mom's cousins, they had jinns living with them. Basically, when they moved in, they were jinns. And so you know, in Pakistan, there are like 3, 4 stories houses, and there's like a rooftop. So basically, on the rooftop, there was a room. And basically, when they found out that there were jinns living, they somehow communicated with the jinn, and they made an agreement. Okay, you guys are gonna live on the top floor. We won't disturb you, and you guys don't disturb us. And those, like the jinns, that was a whole family. They would live in their room, on the top floor, on the rooftop, wala floor, and they were just casually living with jinns. They made an agreement, and they were like, "You're gonna stay on the top floor. We'd stay on the rest of the house. You don't bother us. We don't bother you." So no one would go at the roof, and they would never come down. And I was like, it's crazy how you can actually like communicate with them and then tell them that, you know, we're gonna live here, you're gonna live here. And I was like, that's crazy. Like I would like run away before I even get to communicate.
Yeah, I would not. How? I mean, you need courage to
You're like,
communicate
yeah.
with such spirits and stuff. And honestly, hats off to the jinns. They're better than humans in understanding. Like, wow, what an agreement. No human would communicate in that way.
Yeah.
मुझे आपसे मसला, आप नहीं रहेंगी घर में तो नहीं रहेंगी, bye.
Bye.
लेकिन wow, hats off jinns.
Yeah, because they're like nice kinds. They were the nice kinds.
That's it. I have so many stories. The crazy part is, alhamdulillah, until now, I have never witnessed anything like this personally. But there's like uncountable
No, I've seen
stories.
it like personally. But the thing
No.
with me is, I know like what didn't better on Miranda, right? So it didn't really like, oh my god, I'm screaming, crying, running away. But it was like once you realize that something's there, you kind of get like very uneasy. You live in uneasiness because like you can then feel the spirit, which is,
you know,
not
it's
nice.
they say that they're very rare, but some people do have the sixth sense,
Yeah.
where they tend to, it's not always as strong for everyone, but they tend to feel spirits surrounding them, or any sort of
Yeah.
thing which is like, you know, what is that word, and not unusual, something spiritual word, I can't remember, but something related to that. So like they feel such things. And in our house, it's one of my khala, she sees and felt a lot of these things. I don't know if she has lately, but she used to do it a lot,
Yeah,
especially in her
people do.
young youth age, that her 20s.
Mhm.
There was a lot of things. So we have this family who live in Ras Al Khaimah. You know, Ras Al Khaimah is
is
known.
very famous for its ghost house and ghost village. And people say
Yeah.
if you go at night, you still feel like stuff like it's there. It's called Ghost Town, I think. or
Yeah,
Ghost
and there's like a
Village.
whole palace, and the lights are
It was-
always on of that one specific room.
It was a royal palace, and you know, the people left with everything inside because that's how bad it was. They left all the furniture, like paintings worth millions, and it's just still hanging there up to this day.
And it's crazy how even like till date, there's no one really take caring of that specific palace, because they don't, the jinns or
They
whatever
can't- you
spirits
can't.
are there, they don't allow you to enter. And at night is the time when they're more active, and you actually, if you ever pass by that route, you will actually
Yeah.
sense something.
You know, I've seen like in Sharjah, there's this abandoned villa, and where I used to live before, I would pass it like from school every day on the way back of school. There had like, you know, horror stories. There are like bushes overgrown everywhere.
Mhm.
That house was legit bushes overgrown everywhere. The pane was cracked. The curtain was like cut, like patawe was ripped. The glass was broken, and it would always stay like that. No one bothered to fix it. No one could go near it. And basically one time we were walking, it was nighttime. There was like a whole figure standing in the window, and I saw the figure, and the hair was like, it was all like this. You couldn't see the face, but you could see like the head was like bowed down. There was like hair all over it, and there was just like a figure standing, right? And what like needs municipality, obviously they cut off the bushes, they repainted the house, put it up for sale. It's back to its original condition. Everything was ripped. The bushes are overgrown. The trees are overgrown. No one took it for rent, obviously, and the jinns again let it stay like clean and nice. The paint is already like chipped off again. The curtains are ripped again. It's like actually crazy.
It's crazy. So as I was saying about the Ras Al Khaimah thing,
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know if I consider it something spiritual that happened with me just once, but like it was something pretty terrifying. We went for barbecue and stuff. So on the way back, we crossed that same route of that palace and we saw it. So while we were just driving, it was a pretty long drive, like around an hour, 45 minutes long drive. And constantly, I kept hearing as if somebody, like while the car is like at 120 speed, like somebody's knocking on the back window.
Oh my.
Okay, I heard it once. Maybe I thought, nahi, maine kuch galat suna kyunki gaane bhi lage hue the. The songs were still playing on, and then I heard it again, and it was knocking. And I was like, Then I asked my aunts to stop the song for a while. I was like, let's see if I hear anything, because I told them I felt like I hear something.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went quiet. Then the songs played again. And then I hear the knock again. And I'm like, no, this is something weird. Like, what is going on? So I asked my aunts if they heard any sort of knocking or something in in the car while it was moving. They're like, no, we don't hear anything. It's weird. But then after a while, like when we reached home finally, I asked my aunt if she felt anything like that, the other car which was behind us. And they were like, yeah, I like one of my cousins was like, yeah, I felt like somebody was knocking before I even told her that I was speaking about knocking. And it was so crazy. That night I was, for the first time, I was actually scared. Like, you know, you're scared after watching a horror movie,
But then you were scared because
when
you feel
you're like, what happened?
Yeah.
मतलब कोई था वहाँ पे? कोई presence थी? It's crazy.
It is. Like, you know, there's so many crazy stories because obviously, you know, jinns and ghosts still inhabit the world just as we do. They're just not visible to us. So if you guys have any crazy stories, leave them in the comments down below or send us to us on Instagram at Chai Shai With Bliss.
We could always do a part 2 of our horror stories because it's endless.
Yeah, there are endless stories. So if you want yours to get featured in our next episode, comment them down below or DM it to us.
Okay, so we're ending with a rapid fire. You say creepy if it's anything scary, and you say cozy if you're chill with it, okay?
Okay. Okay, let me start.
Okay.
Teacup rocking on its own.
Creepy.
Definitely creepy. Rainy night, candlelight, ghost stories.
Cozy. It's a vibe.
I'd say cozy until it gets creepy.
You know, it's like all dim, candles and everything, and like a whole group of people are sitting and it's
And
such
then
a fun vibe.
All of the sudden, thunder.
And then जब washroom जाने के time आता है ना, सबकी फट रही होती
and then
है.
it's creepy. Okay. Footsteps upstairs when no one's home.
Creepy for sure.
Creepy
100%.
Like
Creepy.
a labubu sitting at your desk when you didn't leave one there.
Creepily cute.
Creepy because I hate labubus. Sorry.
But it's like cute, like chutku sa there, like oh,
And they're like fangs, like
oh, you're trying to scare me, you rat.
Mare fucked up with a message that says hi. I would run.
I don't even think I need to say anything.
Burn the mirror, bro. Burn it.
Shit.
Okay. Yeah, that was it for our rapid fire round.
If your chai has gone cold, blame us and the ghosts.
Thank you for hanging out with us in this shadowy corner of Chai Shai With Bliss. Follow, share, and leave a review, or else a labubu might appear in the corner. Just kidding. Maybe not.
Sort of. Until next time, keep chilling, keep sipping, and maybe leave a light on.